Hello everyone, my name is John Bussard. I'm an HPE Business Transformation Center engineer for Ingram Micro. I help support HPE servers, blade systems, storage, as well as Aruba networking technology. In my videos, what I like to do is show you a slide from a popular PowerPoint and then demonstrate to you what that means within a management context. Today we're going to continue our discussion with the GreenLake cloud consoles, and in particular we're going to be looking at compute ops management. Certainly, the cloud is not a destination, it is more of an experience. HPE's Compute Ops Management brings that experience to hybrid IT environments or on-prem reliant servers. Now, whether these servers are strewn across the globe or they're in a single facility, you have the ability to holistically manage these systems from within the cloud. So, with all that being said, let's explore this management context. Okay, here we are up in the GreenLake platform. Traditionally, what people think of GreenLake is paying for what you utilize on a monthly basis with on-prem hardware. Right? And in those management contexts, when I see that around, I look at capacity as well as billing information. I would do that within GreenLake Central. But certainly cost is one aspect of managing on-prem hardware from the cloud. There's also the day-to-day maintenance of these devices. So we could see that within these other tiles that are over here. So Aruba Central allows us to be able to manage on-prem networking from the cloud. So things like access points, switches, and gateways from the cloud. The Data Services Cloud Console allows us to manage on-prem HPE storage, whether we're creating volumes or creating backup strategies. And again, that could be at a single site, or this could be sites across the globe. And finally, what we're going to explore today is the Compute Ops Management Console. And this is where we're going to manage our Reliant servers. So let me launch this. All right, so there's two different subscriptions you can get for Compute Ops Management. There's a standard tier as well as an enhanced tier. The enhanced tier will allow you to group servers together as well as apply scheduling to certain different resources in the environment. All right, so here we are, we're on the overview. You can certainly see we have server groups here. This is an enhanced license. Over here, we can see some recent announcements. And below that, we can see there's an update available. It looks like there's a new service pack for Reliant that's available for us. So I could click View Details, as well as Learn More to actually open up the site to this update. And again, we can see server groups over here. Nothing's critical. I have nothing that's out of compliance. Go down a little bit further, you can see I'm managing 3 servers within this environment. Again, none of them are critical, but I do have a warning over here. So what I've done is I've kind of mismatched the power supplies inside of one of these systems so we could see something with this environment. But we'll explore this a little bit later. Let's go down a little bit further. I could see some activity within this environment. Down here, I could view all. As a matter of fact, if I scroll up to the top, we will see I have activity over here as well. Whether I click this or I click this, it's going to bring me to the same spot underneath activity here. All right, where I can see all the activity has happened over time. Certainly I have filter options that I could choose here. All right, so for example, maybe I'm interested in this day. And we can see our context has changed in the back. Right. Well, we have a lot of filters that we could set here if we wanted to. Okay. Go back to the overview. And now we're going to focus in on this warning. So this is underneath servers. I certainly could go to all the servers by clicking the server tab up here. I can see all 3 of the servers that I'm working with here. I can also see which systems are in which group, what baseline I have applied to them, so what service pack for Reliant I have applied to them, as well as recent activity. I'm going to go back to overview, and what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to select the warning. It's going to show me the system that I have a warning on. Right, you can see it's applied a filter. Right, and again, I have a variety of filters that I can choose here. Right, from this context, I have this set of actions that I could choose from: power on, power off, reset cold boot, update firmware. Now if I go into this system, you can see we get other important information such as my operating system, whether the power is on, what tier I'm operating at. Down below I get health, and here we can see the issue with the power supply. If I want to open up details on that, I could certainly click on the details. We can scroll down a little bit further. Right, we could see the current firmware on the system. We could also review the recent update. Again, we could scroll down even further. We could see some more information. Certainly, we have the ability to assign tags. You'd expect that out of any cloud-style management. So you have notification preferences, so I'm certainly receiving emails on critical hardware notifications. And then, of course, any recent activity on this system. All right, so let's explore doing an update on a server if we want to. So I don't know, we'll choose that same system that we were working with, I guess. Let's go down. Now I could choose to do an update from over here, or I could actually go inside the system and actually choose the update here. So let me select that. So the first thing we're going to do is choose the baseline. Maybe I'll choose the latest one. If there's any hot fixes, they'll show up under here, and I could choose those as well. And down below, I get to choose whether I just want to do the firmware or I also want to include the drivers and software. And it's also letting me know that this update is going to require a reboot of the system. I'm going to click Next. I can pick and choose the systems I want to apply this to. Obviously, I've just picked this one system. I'm going to click Next again. This is a VMware system, so it's letting me know that that host should be in maintenance mode before I apply this update. I could click Start this update. Now, when I apply updates at a server level or with a standard tier, there isn't any schedule. Now, this is just going to move forward and do this update. But think about the benefit of this from this context. Normally with updates on servers, I have to first go up to the vendor's website and download those updates. HP is nice enough to give you a service pack for client, which will include all these updates. But I need to go take that and download that and do something with that. So that could certainly be, making a USB thumb drive and applying that to each system. Sometimes people update through that. Through ILO Virtual Media, and there's certainly other automated processes that you could do. But I still have to go up there, grab that update, and do something with that update. With this, I don't need to pull anything down. It is actually going to pull this from the cloud and apply that to servers. Right? So it makes this process a lot easier for us to be able to manage and keep our servers up to date, which is real important these days since there are a lot of security concerns that are out there. So I'm not going to do this update. I'm actually going to cancel this. So click yes. And then let's go look at some server group actions that we could do. So if you go under Manage here, you'll see server groups over here. So I'm going to select that. Right now I have one server group that's available with one system in it. Over here we could see some common tasks that I do against this. Right, what I'm going to do is we're going to create a new server group. Now I'm not going to get too far on this. I want to add a server group for some of my VMware servers, so we'll call this our VMware servers. I'm going to click Next, and now I got to select the firmware server setting, and I only really have one for my Windows server, so I got to cancel out of this right now. So I'm going to click Cancel, click Yes. And then if I go back under Manage, you'll see server settings that are over here. So I'm going to select that. You see that one that I showed you earlier. But we're going to create a new one for our VMware servers. So we're going to call this our VMware update. going to click Next. I'm going to select the update that I want to apply. In this case, I'm going to select an older one because I want to show you something. Right. I'm going to finish creating this server setting. Close. Right. And let's go back to our server groups. Let's create our server group again. I'm going to click Next. And then we're going to select that server setting that we just chose, that server firmware setting. And I'm going to click Next again. Now I could choose Auto Apply Baseline, which as I add new servers to this group, it'll go through the process of auto updating that server with the service pack for client baseline that I've chosen in the environment. I would normally select that, but right now I'm not going to do that because as I add servers, I'm kind of showing you something that I don't want to take action against that just yet. So I'm going to click Next. Right, and I'm going to finish creating this server group. And I'm going to click Close. Right. So now I could go over here and select this context that I could add or remove servers here. I could also go into this server group and do that from over here. So we're going to add some servers. I got a couple servers that are running VMware here, so let's select those. I'm going to click Continue, and then we're going to add these two servers. All right, we'll go back to our server groups. Scroll down, we can see these two servers are not in compliance. So how do I solve that within this environment? So how do I maybe update this to the latest firmware? Well, there's a couple different ways that you can do that. So certainly I could go up under Manage, and I can go under Server Settings, and we can see our VMware update exists right here. Again, we could go over here, and I could click Edit. All right, and this is the same context I used to create this. But here I could go change that maybe to a newer service pack for Proline if I wanted to. Click Save and Close. All right, since that's already applied to the supergroup, it would take action. Or I could do that update if I wanted to. We could create a new server setting, and we'll call this new VMware update. I'll click Next. Let's select that brand new service for pack for Reliant that I've seen. I'll finish creating this setting. Close. And get the notification up here. I'll go back under Manage, Server Groups. There's our VMware server group. I can go over here and then we'll edit this. I'll click Next, and what I can do is select the new update. Okay. Save and close that. Alright, so now that I have a new update on that, how do I push that out to these systems through a server group context? So let's go over here. So again, scroll down, we could see update firmware. Again, once again, I could go inside this group, and I can go over here in Actions and update firmware here. Again, I get the choice of whether or not I just want to do the firmware, or if I also want to do drivers and software. I'm going to click Next, and I get to select the servers within this group that I want to do that update. I'm going to click Next again. Right, things change a little bit. I can do a serial update, right? So I could do one after another, right? So instead of doing them all at once, I'm going to stop if there's any issues with the update. I can update immediately, or because I have the enhanced here and we're dealing with groups, I could schedule this update and then choose a time in which I want to push this out. So maybe we'll do this on Sunday, and maybe we'll do it at 1 o'clock in the morning. I'll click Next again, and then I could go through the process of scheduling this update. So that's some basic management with compute ops, and keep in mind that this is an overall management context for hybrid IT. So HP is really the only company out there that can manage the entire stack, so networking, storage, as well as for Reliant servers from within the cloud, not only in a day-to-day maintenance of these systems, but also the cost metrics to pay for what you utilize on an ongoing basis. This is not an all or nothing type of situation. Like other cloud resources, you can pick and choose what solution makes sense within your organization. So, with all that being said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and please stay tuned for more videos.